Hello and welcome to Follow the Money. I'm Raine Musñgi. Join us as we explore the tools and insights you need to jumpstart your financial journey. Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell announced there is no immediate need to cut interest rates despite inflation continuing to cool off. In a clear signal to markets, Powell noted that the Fed's stance remains cautious, citing a stable economy and strong labor market. Speaking at the Economic Club of New York Thursday, he noted that any movement on rate cuts will be determined by hard evidence of slowing inflation and economic growth. Powell stressed, with the strong economy, the Fed can afford to wait and see.
I think we have time to make assessments about what the net effects of policy changes will be on the economy before we react with policy. That's not to say we won't be doing quite a lot of analysis. And the analysis we do, by the way, is informed by the best research, the best thinking, the best experts, and there's a lot of research on the effect of policy changes on the economy. We'll make those assessments, but I think we'll be careful about changing policy until we have a lot more certainty. The economy is not sending any signals that we need to be in a hurry to lower rates. The strength we're currently seeing in the economy.
In a swift move toward policy reform, former President Donald Trump's transition team announced plans to eliminate President Joe Biden's tax credit for electric vehicles if Trump returns to office. The Biden administration currently offers a tax credit of up to $7,500 on electric vehicle purchases, an initiative intended to spur EV adoption and reduce carbon emissions. In an exclusive, Reuters reports that Trump's team believes the tax credit is costing American jobs and alienating the working class as it applies mainly to foreign-made vehicles. A Trump spokesperson stated that the American worker deserves a level playing field, adding that if Trump takes office, or as Trump takes office, the credit will be done away with on day one. Tesla shares dropped nearly 6%, while shares of electric truck maker Rivian plunged over 14%, while Lucid Group slid 5%. In the wake of Donald Trump's re-election, the cryptocurrency industry is mobilizing to push for new legislation to boost growth and clarify regulatory issues. Crypto lobbyists are calling for the repeal or amendment of key rules implemented under the Biden administration that they say hindered market growth. Industry advocates argue that recent measures have created overly burdensome compliance obligations and are hopeful Trump's return to office will prompt policymakers to reevaluate the legislation. One lobbyist stated that they believe new leadership is a chance to rewrite the rules. The move could affect markets worth over $1 trillion, with Bitcoin and other major cryptos looking to capitalize on the friendlier policies. Billionaire Elon Musk and former President Donald Trump announced that they plan to collaborate to promote Dogecoin as a legitimate currency on the global stage. Musk, the CEO of Tesla and SpaceX, and a longtime Dogecoin supporter, touted the meme coin's potential for widespread adoption, especially in countries with unstable currencies. He called Dogecoin a real option for everyday transactions. Meanwhile, Trump, who has been skeptical of cryptocurrency in the past, said he believes this could be a step toward putting America first in digital currency. This unexpected alliance comes as cryptocurrencies face new scrutiny under the Biden administration, with regulatory and market issues looming. In a surprising development, SpaceX has pulled out of a land swap agreement in Texas that would have expanded its Starship rocket hub. The deal, which involved exchanging private land for state-owned property, was intended to provide SpaceX with additional space to accelerate development of its next-generation Starship rockets. A SpaceX spokesperson told Bloomberg the priority is to stay flexible to meet development goals, indicating the company is reevaluating its needs. The cancellation could delay plans to boost Starship production as SpaceX continues testing for future missions to the Moon and Mars. The company has already invested heavily in Texas, but the scrap deal is expected to shift focus to other development sites. In an announcement that sent shockwaves through the financial world, former president and President-elect Donald Trump made it clear that JP Morgan CEO Jamie Dimon won't be part of his administration once he steps into office. Speaking to reporters, Trump said he doesn't need Dimon in his administration, indicating that the future cabinet will not include the high-profile banker who has often been critical of Trump. Dimon has previously expressed doubts about Trump's economic policies, calling for more stability in Washington. This move highlights the tensions between Trump and Wall Street leaders like Dimon, as the former president appears set to take a more isolated stance against banking executives. Speaking from the APEC summit in Peru, Dimon, for his part, said that if Trump follows through on his tariff threats, which on the campaign trail included promises of duties of 60% of higher for China, 10% to 20% for the rest of the world, it will at least get people to the table for negotiations, saying that the president-elect will want to avoid a negative stock market reaction. In Asia, India's central bank governor Shaktikanta Das says India's economy remains resilient despite global uncertainties and inflation concerns. Speaking at a National Economic Forum, Das said their economy is strong and ready to withstand external pressures. The RBI chief cited a projected GDP growth rate of 6.5% for the current year, outpacing many developed nations and signaling India's potential as a leading growth engine. He added that while inflation remains a challenge, the Reserve Bank of India is taking a cautious approach to interest rates to keep prices stable while promoting growth. This news comes as global markets struggle with economic slowdowns and pressures from rising energy costs, making India's economic strength a point of focus for investors. Back to the U.S., the Treasury Department announced that MetLife's wholly owned subsidiary has settled charges of violating U.S. sanctions on Iran. The settlement, totaling $7.3 million, covers violations stemming from insurance claims paid to Iranian nationals between 2013 and 2018. The Treasury stressed that despite the relatively small amount involved, these violations are taken seriously. A Treasury spokesperson said no entity is above sanctions law, and MetLife has agreed to pay the settlement while increasing its due diligence measures to avoid future violations. The Federal Reserve has announced it will not be joining the Basel Climate Initiative, leaving talks in limbo and sparking concern among global leaders pushing for climate-sensitive banking policies. Basel Committee members have been urging the Fed to adopt guidelines that would require banks to consider climate risks when assessing loans and investments. However, a spokesperson for the U.S. Central Bank stated that they have to prioritize their primary mandate, which is to focus on managing inflation and stabilizing the economy. Now, this decision comes as central banks in Europe and Asia increasingly integrate climate risks into financial regulations, with pressure on U.S. banks to follow suit. More news in business and the economy in a moment. Stay on BNC and follow the money. The value of the global cryptocurrency market hits a record high, fueled by Donald Trump's White House return. According to analytics and data aggregator CoinGecko, the sum value of cryptocurrencies touched nearly $3.2 trillion in Asia on November 14th. Dominating the market is Bitcoin, which also rose to a record $93,000. Trump's election victory and that of several pro-crypto lawmakers to Congress has spurred bets that friendlier U.S. regulation could usher in a global era, or rather golden era, for the asset class. Trump has previously pledged to make America the cryptocurrency capital of the world. The Philippines slides 2 spots in this year's World Digital Competitiveness Ranking. The country placed 61st out of 67 economies, according to the International Institute for Management Development. The Philippines saw downgrades in 2 categories, namely knowledge ranking and technology ranking. Now, as for future readiness, the country placed 58th from 59th last year. Singapore topped the global ranking, followed by Switzerland and Denmark. Foreign investment pledges surged in the third quarter in the Philippines. The value of commitments received by investment promotion agencies rose to 146.75 billion pesos. That's an increase of 434% from 27 billion in the same quarter last year. South Korea was the top source of investment pledges, followed by Switzerland. The Philippine gaming industry on a hot streak thanks to e-gaming. PAGCOR's gross gaming revenue soared 37.5% to reach 94 billion pesos in the third quarter. Licensed casinos remain the largest contributor, but the major driver was e-gaming, which skyrocketed to 35.7 billion pesos from only 6.3 billion in Q3 of last year. PAGCOR Chairman and CEO Alejandro Tengo is confident by year-end, the e-gaming sector will generate as much as 78 billion pesos and will contribute substantially to the realization of their full-year revenue target of 100 billion pesos. Back in the U.S., the Department of Homeland Security released its long-awaited framework for the use of artificial intelligence in protecting critical infrastructure. It's designed to increase security and protect sensitive data. The framework aims to guide the implementation of AI in sectors such as energy, transportation, and finance. A department spokesperson tells the Associated Press this framework ensures that AI enhances security without compromising privacy. Now, as AI becomes more integrated into essential systems, officials hope the guidelines will create standards that both private companies and government agencies can follow to protect against cyber threats and system disruptions. Taiwan's Foxconn expects robust growth in its artificial intelligence server business next year. That's after reporting a better-than-expected 14% rise in quarterly profit. The firm says strong sales increases in its AI server business have helped it weather a decline in demand for consumer electronics. Foxconn is the world's largest contract electronics maker and a key supplier to Apple and NVIDIA. In a major boost to its advertising tools, TikTok launched a global AI-powered video platform aimed at enhancing ad performance and creating a more customized experience for users. The new AI platform, targeting millions of advertisers, uses machine learning to analyze user data and adjust ads in real time, maximizing their effectiveness. A TikTok executive said this AI platform is a game changer for advertisers. The move reflects TikTok's push to strengthen its presence in the global ad market amid increasing competition from other social media giants. Apple faces accusations that it misled millions of iCloud users into paying for storage plans they didn't need, with a lawsuit claiming more than 40 million customers may have been affected. The case alleges that Apple used deceptive messaging to pressure users into purchasing extra storage despite having other options for data management. According to the lawsuit, Apple's strategy was to trap users in its ecosystem, making it difficult or even impossible to manage their storage without buying a plan. Now, if the case moves forward, Apple could face heavy fines and compensation claims, with consumer advocates arguing that this could be a wake-up call for the tech giant to change its policies. Apple has not yet commented on the lawsuit. Warren Buffett's Berkshire Hathaway continued to trim stakes in longtime holdings Apple as well as Bank of America, while picking up stakes in Domino's Pizza and swimming pool supplier Pool Corp in the third quarter. Meta, the parent company of Facebook, has also been hit with a massive €798 million fine by European regulators for unfair practices in its Facebook marketplace. The European Commission claims Meta abused its market power by giving Facebook Marketplace an advantage over competing platforms, creating what the EU describes as an unfair playing field. The European Commissioner for Competition said this fine reflects Meta's failure to provide fair competition practices, and Meta said it will appeal the decision, arguing that its marketplace practices align with industry standards. This fine is part of a broader effort by European regulators to rein in tech giants and ensure a level playing field in digital markets. Amazon is taking aim at popular budget retailers Temu and Shein by launching a new platform promising crazy low prices. The new platform, called Haul, will offer discounts on a wide range of products, including apparel, accessories, and home goods, competing directly with Temu and Shein's affordable offerings. An Amazon spokesperson said they're offering shoppers high quality at unmatched prices. The move reflects Amazon's efforts to capture younger and price-conscious consumers who have increasingly turned to Temu and Shein for low-cost options. Industry experts say this could spark a new round of competition among online retail giants as they race to win over budget-minded shoppers. In a bizarre turn of events, satirical news outlet The Onion has purchased Alex Jones' InfoWars website following a highly publicized auction. The Onion, known for its comedic and often sarcastic take on news, acquired InfoWars for an undisclosed sum, promising a new direction for the controversial platform. InfoWars, once a leader in conspiracy theories, has been struggling financially after numerous lawsuits and credibility issues. A spokesperson for The Onion said, "This is a new era for InfoWars, with commitment to transparency and satire." It remains unclear how InfoWars' original followers will react to this change, but the purchase has already sparked mixed reactions in media circles. And that is it for today's edition of Follow the Money. I'm Raine Musñgi. Thank you so much for watching. Keep it here on BNC, the Billionaire News channel, always on top.